Uh, Hello, everybody. Um, this video is going to be me discussing YouTube channels you should check out. Uh, I'm very fortunate to have a job that allows me to just watch YouTube videos ad nauseum all day, every day. I always have AirPod in, just listening to YouTube videos. I've definitely got some experience with watching various YouTube channels. I'll watch anything. So I guess I've just garnered a list here uh, about. I got a couple topics, so I guess we'll start with listing the topics. We have video essay channels you should check out. Um, we have food channels that I watch pretty regularly. We have uh, we have history, big into history. History's great. And then uh, companies and economics, and then like geopolitics, like just news and drama, like because I would I would consider these all pretty important to like know about, so you can be like a pretty well-rounded individual that has knowledge on more than just like one thing. So it did, and and then what else? Oh, also car and like motorcycle content. I'm really into motorcycle content. That's like what I started with. And then, like eventually you'll learn everything about motorcycles. So you just start like clicking on random shit. And then that's where it got me to all these other channels that I watch daily or weekly or whatever when they upload. There's a couple podcasts in here, podcast channels, but it's just mostly gonna be like channels that upload like good long form content. I'm not big into the slop. I use Reels for that. I use Instagram Reels to look at the slop. So I guess we'll dive right into it here. So the first channel is probably gonna be um I guess we'll start with world events and like news and drama and stuff. So this is pretty common ball, but you get pulled up. It's gonna be it's gonna be Channel 5. So Channel 5 pretty much he does a lot of on the ground reporting. He's got like a team. It's run by Andrew Callahan. He's great, and he's always doing these crazy fucking interviews with people. So like it started with a lot of on the ground stuff, and he still does a lot of that, but his team is bigger now and everything. And he'll just be interviewing like anyone in the zeitgeist at the moment. So he's pretty good friends with Hunter Biden. I think he was one of the only ones to interview him after all that stuff happened. But like this kind of perfectly represents the channel. He got Nick Fuentes and Hunter Biden together, two completely different, could not be more farther apart politically. He got them to talk to each other, like in a reasonable manner. So that's great. That's great. That's what we like to see. We like to see uh just people talking, So he does like all sorts of topics. He covers like this Brian Gnome situation. Just some crazy shit, man. He got Shia. So yeah, he's pretty good. He gives you kind of like a lot of perspective on stuff, especially like the on the ground stuff, because people on the street just be saying random shit, and he's got some good production value here. So I guess we'll move to the next one. I guess we'll move to the next one now. So um I would say Channel Five's what I go to when a story is breaking, and or it's like it's important to have like perspective on it, I guess. And then so I watch this channel a lot, this podcast channel, Lemonade Stand. It's kind of part of the slot factory that is Atrioc and his brand, his media empire. But I've kind of fallen down that hole. but they pretty much just they compile a bunch of news stories like world events. But it's mostly tailored towards like business stuff. Most of the time, it's not very like politically charged. And if they do give like political takes, it's like pretty chill most of the time. I would say they're a little left leaning, but or they're not very favorable of Trump. Let's put it that way. But I don't think most people are at this point, right or left. So this would be for like American listeners. Like, yeah, he doesn't. But they do talk about a lot of international news and just stuff that could affect business, like on like a grand scale. Just cover that every week. That's a good one. It's a good way to burn an hour and a half every week when they talk. And so this is like your step into the Atrioc fucking pigeonhole that is him as a creative. I really like him, but we'll get to that. So and then there's a couple more topics on here. This of course is not like a comprehensive list of all news you could ever consume. If you watch these 4 or 5, you're good, man. You're good. But pretty much the next one, I guess, will lead into more absolutely common ball knowledge. Of course, the Big Charles, the Penguin Zero. And I know what you're thinking. Who hasn't watched a Moist Critical video, right? Like, we're all clocking into the slot factory. This is like just million of views every day. Like, everybody on YouTube gotta come in and watch. But I feel like he's good for what he does. He's good if you want normal man with normal opinions on shit. If the thing is crazy, he's gonna be like, "This shit's crazy, man." So he kind of keeps you grounded in reality a little bit. If maybe like you go off on like a random YouTube deep dive and you end up on like some far off opinion or take on a situation, and you're like, okay, I need a break from that. That was too much. So we'll go watch our 1 or 2 a day Moist Critical videos. So that's great. That really pads the time, and they've kind of gotten longer recently. I feel like they used to be like 10 minutes to, I guess, 8 minutes. But sometimes you get a good solid 20-minute video, 20-minute yap session. He does tend to repeat himself a lot, but it's pretty much that's what it is. That's what you know what to expect when you go to a Moist Critical video. He's comfortable, and that's why he's pretty good to add to your lineup. But I guess we'll move to the next one now. This is a new one that just came up, but he kind of, whenever you watch like gaming news, it's usually something he freaking reported on for Bloomberg. So, and it's just been parodied. So he's pretty new to YouTube. He just came 2 months ago, but he's been like writing stories for like years, I think. But it's Jason Schreier, so he's pretty good. He talks a lot about, and this was surprising me, like just like the actual like politics of like game development, because like as a gamer you're like publisher bad, video game dev good, but he's the nuance creator. I think in this video someone called he acknowledged that someone called him like a nuance slop creator, and I was like, clock it, I guess. Like that makes sense to me. That's pretty great. But yeah, he's pretty good to watch. He does give some nuance. He gives some alternate opinions. And he also just reports on like gaming news. And he's pretty up to date. Like, I'll throw in an honorable mention with the Skill Ups channel, but I guess I can show him. Skillup's pretty good. He does like this week in video games. That's more of like an actual like organized show. It's got like segments to it. So that's pretty good. This is a good 40 minutes if you don't already know what all happened. Usually by the time this comes out, I know what happened, or it's immediately out of date because someone put out um news right as they upload it. So it's immediately irrelevant until the next week when they talk about it. But um mention for skill up, I guess. So we'll go to we'll I guess we'll move on from the world events, and I guess we'll move into more like specifically companies. So that I guess we'll start with Mr. Slop himself, Atrioc. So I really like him because um not really his main channel so much. His main channel does have good videos, but they're way less consistent. I feel like he uploads 7 months, five, like every couple months you get like one main channel video. But then you got Big A, which is his like clip channel because he's a streamer. He streams mostly on Twitch. Worked for Twitch. Some lore there. He's always freaking talking about how he worked at Twitch, but um yeah, he uploads clips. He does little presentations on stream, which I think is good. And usually they're pretty decent lengths. So like this is 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And they were daily for a while. I think he's pivoted now, but he might go back to daily. But it is a lot, I will say that. But he's got some good content here. Like this the Melody Wright saga with the housing. If you're really concerned about housing, it's good to keep up on that. But he pretty much just talks about a bunch of different like business stuff, and he does talk a lot about Trump. That's because Trump uh, is in the business zeitgeist. He's always doing shit. So talk about business a lot, gaming business, politics, situations like internationally. So that's good. I like what he talks about. But then this empire, this Atrioc empire, for a while there, I don't know if he's doing it so much anymore, but there was like a circle. There's like a circle jerk going on for the fucking Big A channel. Where it was just him reacting to other fucking business reporters, and then they would react to him, and it was just this whole like content mill operation. But um I guess we'll talk about like how many works. So these come across as pretty like sterilized, actually, like these videos when they upload them, but they're pretty good. Like they give you some information about an industry, and they're kind of like business video essays, but they absolutely present a narrative, but they're pretty good if you want like a broad overview of just like bullshit that's going on right now. And like this is a slop thumbnail. You can identify this as a slop thumbnail. I'd be saying slop a lot, but that's all I am. I like as a person I am slop. So yeah, that's pretty much how money works. Those are kind of harder to watch. I like when Atrioc reacts to them because then I can watch double at the same time because I'm a little iPad baby. I can't keep up with that shit. So uh oh, here we go. More perfect union. This is very similar vein to how money works, where it's just like here's a video, here's a topic that's going on, and here's what's bad about it, and there's usually some underhanded money finagling going on, but that's like the current society. That's the meta. So yeah, these are pretty good. They're shorter, but it's a good 15 minutes if I just want to learn about something cooked for a second. So yeah, and then they all react to each other, and then so there's also Company Man. He's separate from the circle jerk. So Company Man, he put out a video. They're very formulaic. They're very he's got a couple different series. He's got Rise and Fall. He's got Why They're Successful. um, why they're hated, and then he like compares companies. He's got some of those. So yeah, as you can see, he talks about every single company under the sun. There's probably he's probably running out of companies that are not like owned under other companies or completely irrelevant that they're not worth talking about. So I hope he doesn't run out of stuff to talk about. But you know, he covers everything. So these are quick little 11-minute watches. As you can see, they are all 11 minutes. So it's borderline slop, but you know what to expect. It's like Moist Critical, but business content. So check this out. Maybe you could watch like 20 videos just to like pick your brain about a company that you see on here. Like I watched this Haagen Dazs video, and I didn't know that Haagen Dazs is a completely made up word that like was made up by the company to sound more exotic when they were founded. So that was an interesting little factoid you can give to somebody. So I guess we'll move on from that. So after that we got histories. So we'll go over some histories. So William C. Fox. Is this him? Yes, this man. These are if you've got a job where you can kill time and you also have a little bit of an autistic fascination with history and you get into it. Okay, so like these are ball crushers. Okay, this is a 5.5 hour video. This is 4.5 hours. 7 hour video, bro. And it's him sitting at a whiteboard talking about history. Okay. I kind of listen to these more as like podcasts. So maybe sometimes I'll give a little quick look down to the phone to be like, oh, that's interesting to know about. But you know, he presents a little bit of a narrative, but these are very important videos because of the state of the world right now. So it's pretty good to watch them because you can start to draw patterns and comparisons to the modern day, and it gives you context too, historical context for what's going on currently. So this is a little bit of brain nourishment. Okay, this is a little bit of mulch for your brain. Okay, so I guess after that we'll also move on to another history channel, Mr. Beat. Uh, he's pretty great. Okay, he's a little bit common ball. He's got a lot of subscribers, but if you're not into history, you've probably never been recommended one of his videos. But he's a lot more like American history. So he talks about like everything. And this is like if you had like a US government class in high school, but um he had a lot more time to talk about stuff. So you can I guess he's done a lot of interviews recently, but he talks about presidents a lot. Like I know my presidents so well because of him. So I know what to expect out of a president and you know what presidents have done in history and also like how our government works more. Because I feel like a lot of people on online discourse had no idea how our freaking government like just functions at like a basic state. So he talks about laws and also like the court system because that's also part of our government. So I see a lot of people get frustrated over like the Supreme Court and how judges make decisions. He talks about that. You can also go into like lawyer YouTube, but I mean, I'm not too interested in the deep dives of like law theory and stuff. I'll watch the American or Legal Eagle videos. But he also kind of falls into that like it's starting to turn into slot. He's getting really big. Like he's got like 4 million subs. It's kind of hard to uh to not see a little bit of dramatization in that. Like I love dry ass people. I'm not gonna lie. Like low production value, kind of always comes across as more authentic to me. So that's what I like in my YouTube content. So once they get to like this scale, they do get a lot of like budget and like edits, and they get like the flashy YouTube edits, and yeah, it's a lot for my like boomer old man 20 something year old brain. So I can't handle that. I can't handle that. But I guess here's my homepage. But we'll go to the next one. So there was some history channels that are good to look at: William C. Fox and Mr. Beast. So we'll go over to motorcycles, because I love motorcycles. So there's motorcycles, and then I don't know why I did that, but here's a motorcycle channel I like to watch. Art, he's pretty good. He's pretty small, 166K. I guess that's not too small, but say like double A, not like indie. Indie would be like when you find those like 7 subscriber um Glupshitos, like who am I watching? But if you have any interest in motorcycles, he's got it all here. He's got a lot of videos talking about like random niche motorcycles. Like so it's like you got your high revving sports bikes in the 90s. He talks about all different types. You got cafe racers, rotary. Okay, that was a cool video. I enjoyed that video. And then like this is the H2 here. It's if you want to get into motorcycles, I strongly recommend you like learn about the history of motorcycles, because they're pretty different from cars while also being similar at the same time. So like my love for motorcycles definitely like got me more into cars than I would have otherwise. But so this is like history, right? This is motorcycle like knowledge. If you want like motorcycle riding, you're not gonna find much crazier stuff that doesn't have like 100 views, and you have to specifically like search for, than like Jigsaw Broad. I don't know how he survived on YouTube so long, because all he uploads is him doing crazy speed runs. If you can find the Colorado Springs to Denver video, that is a pretty insane video to watch, just just because of how fast he's going the whole time. But I guess this is cool. He crashed recently and he came back. I haven't been really watching him since, but pretty much if you want the big go fast on the sport bike, it's gonna be probably Jigsaw, or some guy with 100 subscribers that uploaded a video at 240p from like 10 years ago, is where it's gonna be at. So I guess on from that, we'll go to another like educational sort of channel for motorcycles, but it's gonna be like Fort9, and he's pretty common ball. He's 2.35 million. He's got a lot of videos, and these are pretty high production quality, but I don't feel like they've lost quality. Like once they get too big, they just start pumping them out. Right? They get a team that sticks to a formula, and the content starts to lose a little bit of passion. But I feel like he's been into it the whole time, so he talks about everything, which is cool. So he's great if you want to know like the basics of motorcycling, and he does like gear reviews and stuff. Like that's good. And like new occurrences within the motorcycling world. What's another one? I guess I'll give us a safety one. Oh yeah, Dandy and the Fireman. I'm pretty sure. Does he still upload? Let's see. Okay, yeah. He's significant. Oh, okay. He's got 500,000 subs. I guess he's just got low viewer rates right now. But he uploads a lot. But this is good stuff if you're getting into riding, but you're like still kind of scared at the same time. Cause like when I was getting into riding motorcycles, uh It's stress. It's a scary new thing sometimes, even though it's really freaking fun once you get good at it. But this keeps you down to earth. This keeps you humble. He teaches a lot of good stuff. I would feel like maybe, I mean, you can never be too safe on a motorcycle, but uh I feel like maybe he might go a little bit overboard. But again, you are traveling on pretty much an engine between your legs, and you are susceptible to being one tapped by a guy in a 7,000 pound Escalade. So it is important to be always geared up and always attentive and stuff. But he gives good tips on how to avoid becoming little Angus on the road. Uh, so I guess we'll move on from motorcycles. We'll go to this is a kind of random category, but it was like ball knowledge. So I guess we'll look at that. So these were channels that are just like info dumps, but they make it interesting. So this driving for answers guy, he he got me into engines, dude. He be talking about engines like no other. He be building little engines. He builds little engines. He explains all sorts of things. He loves everything. He'll talk about bike engines. He'll talk about big V12s. I guess is this a mini one? This is a mini one. That's funny. But he's got a lot of great content. This is like the engineering side of it, of like cars. So if you don't like the aesthetic of cars, but rather like performance and like why things work the way they do, he's got a lot of interesting little videos about everything to do with engines. So that's cool. And then I guess my other channel for ball knowledge would be technology connections because he talks about anything, dude. He's got this yearly Christmas light saga. I guess he's pretty big. Okay, 3.18. That's common ball. Okay. Most people have probably heard about him. So I guess there's not a lot to say, but when he tells you about a topic, you better listen because he does a great job at presenting it, presenting solutions if there's an issue with the technology, explaining how the technology works and how you can better utilize it. This is great knowledge for most people, right? So he explains a lot of stuff about technology, as you can see by his name. He's great. I love him. So I guess we'll move into let's shake it up. Let's go to our miss category. So this was a bunch of channels that like have like a community, but they're not necessarily like topics that you could really dive into all the time. But here's one. Midwest Magic Cleaning. Okay, this man, all he does, his favorite thing to do in life is clean hoarder houses. So if you're ever thinking like, man, I am a little pig. I'm a little pig. I live in my house and I'm so gross. It can always be 30 billion times worse. Okay, it can always be 30 billion times freaking worse. So this gives you perspective, okay? This provides perspective on life because he travels around like I think it's Illinois, like that Midwest, and it's just cooked, dude. Like he goes to these houses and just look at the state of these houses and he describes it to you. Okay, so like I can't watch every single video, but I'll listen to it because I appreciate him and I want to give him my time to listen. He can tend to repeat himself if you're not watching the video. He can talk about similar topics, but just listening to him describe these houses. Like look at that. Look at this toilet. That's gross. Okay. And he just cleans it and he describes like the billions of cockroaches and mice and and poop and pee and everything that's underneath the layers, the mountains of garbage, and how many dumpsters he fills. And it's just like, I'm probably doing all right. Like my house isn't like filled to the brim with like used adult diapers. So like I'm chilling. So that's great. That's a great thing to have happening in life. So yeah, I just I think he's good to watch. He also does like some how to actually clean your house, because there are a lot of us out there that don't know how to clean our house properly, what chemicals to use. Okay, I'm a big fan of Dawn dish soap after watching his channel because it really does work. So he's good to watch. He's good to watch. Okay. We'll go to the next one. Um Farm to Tabor is a channel that I found kind of recently. They're pretty small, 130K. That's like it's like kind of unknown on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But she sits and she's worked in farming, and she's done farming, and she's very familiar with the industry. So I found her after mm, I don't know when I found her. Oh, it was the soybean thing with the tariffs on the soybeans, and the farmers were crashing out. And I think she had a video that popped off. It might have been this one that I watched. Anyways, but she just talks about farming, and it's really insightful because I'm not a farmer. I don't know anybody who farms, but it's good to have like a level-headed person that's not kind of batshit insane talk about farming, because farming is an important thing for society, so it's good to know about that stuff. So that's why I watch her. Um, what else do we got? Oh, clothing. So we'll do some clothing. This is not all clothing ever. I just want to remind everyone that it's not all clothing ever. But this guy's pretty good. He uploads little 20-minute little taste, and he can tell you a bit about how to fashion and how to style yourself. And I'm pretty sure he's into like fashion walks and stuff, like fashion shows, which I mean I'm not particularly into, but that stuff does like trickle down to the common person if over decades and periods of time they do become relevant to like my life. So it's very important to know a little bit about fashion, especially as like a guy who doesn't who wears t-shirts. So that's how it is. And then I guess we'll move on to our final category, and I'll try to be going fast because I think I'm running up the time here. But video essays. So we'll start with the big guy. Okay, Mr. Implement. This guy knows how to craft a video. Okay, he's got the production quality. He's got the interesting topic. He's got the well formatted essay discussing things. This is a good video. All of these are good videos. He's got a very unique style with the green little Simpson mans, and it's just good content to watch. So if you're not familiar with this man and you're never watched one of his videos, I really recommend you do. He's got a couple different spin-off channels, but this is what you want to watch. You want to watch Mr. Implement. So we'll go to the next guy. Moon Channel, kind of a similar vein, except it's a lot more to do with like Japan, and um you know, I guess Japanese IP, but he also does a lot of video essays, and some of these are really long. Like this one's really long, and I guess did he remake it? Anyways, I can't find it, but like as someone who's like interested in Japan, like my friend got me to take some Japanese classes in college for like 2 years. He does talk a lot about a bit about like nuanced things in like Japanese politics, and um it's just really insightful because it's not all like, oh my god, kawaii Japan, I love Japan, place Japan, but it's like it's got some meat, it's got some substance to it. So that's good content to watch. And then I guess we'll go to, I think it's how you spell it. Oh yeah, this is like a sports lore video essay analysis kind of channel. These are pretty good. These are pretty good videos. They're long, they're longer form, but I, as someone who's of course not into very many sports, this is good. This is good content. This is good content to watch if you're not into the sports. Like he talks about fantasy sports and just like interesting sports happenings, I guess. So he's good. And then I guess we'll finish off with the last one. So this is like, this band keeps me grounded. I found him recently. I'm really big into him. So this is Jammies, and pretty much he just reviews video essays, and usually they're like borderline insane. Like what am I watching? Kind of video essays. But then you have his nice little voice that comes in and he tells you it's gonna be okay, and he sits you down and he works you through these video essays, and it's like a it's reassuring because I could not watch this pedophile video, this in defense of pedophile video, because like where do I even start? Like this is just like, this is crazy content to be watching. But he's there to hold your hand, he's there to walk you through it, and he's there to give it the most uh I guess inconsistent scoring for video essays I've ever seen. But he's good. He uploads pretty regularly, and since he covers video essays, it's a bunch of different topics. That's pretty good. All right. Well, that was my first video. Thanks for watching. Uh, bye bye.